Hello, lovers and haters. This is your man over Mustang, and you're tuned into Aura-Genz, your friendly local hub podcast show. Today, we got an electrifying interview lineup that's going to blow your mind. We're diving deep into the world of music, culture, and creativity. With a guest who's about to drop some serious wisdom. So get ready to vibe with us because we're about to bring the heat, celebrate underground artists and the power of music. Stay tuned. It's about to get real. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
I am IC Chris from Boston, Massachusetts. Artist out here, just starting my career out. Been doing it for about a month now.
Shout out to you. And what inspired? Well, before I even ask you that question, tell us, your origin story, how this all started for you.
So I've been writing lyrics for a long time since I was like a little kid, just for fun, and I always just thought I always just had a good time doing that. So I figured I'd actually try to produce myself and try to get better at the whole field and self production and all that.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that. And you already know you're in your whole life that you want to be involved with music, or was it?
I did want to be involved with music, but I feel like it's one of those things that's very intimidating to get into at first.
Mm,
So it's just about making that jump.
mm. And being an independent artist, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Being an independent artist, I'm curious, what do you find the most challenging, part of, you know, pursuing being a musician?
The most challenging, I would say promo, but now I've actually been having good luck with promo. Um, but that was hard at first, the self promo, because really nobody's gonna help you out unless you're gonna pay somebody, and
Mm,
that's kind of a hit or miss. If you end up paying somebody for a shout out or whatever on Instagram, it might not even go in your favor a lot of the time. So a lot of that stuff's not even worth it. So um, but right now I'd say the most challenging part is just constantly like thinking of new material and able to pump out consistent stuff, because now I have
mm,
like a few people tuned into me, so I want to continue to give them quality content.
I respect it. Shout out to you. Okay.
Appreciate it.
And was there any particular anything else you was pursuing before you found your interest within music?
Yeah, so I've always since I was about 17, I've always like worked in like landscaping or like outdoor work like that. And then I got into HVAC, and that's actually what I do now. I work on boilers, like
Mm,
for heat oil systems.
shout out to
Yep.
you. Okay, that's what's up. Okay. So what exactly sparked your interest, the to pursue?
Can you say that again?
What exactly sparked your interest to pursue music?
Um, the interest was always there, just because it's just one of those things. You see the people that make the songs. You see the people. Those are the people you look up to. So you always kind of want to be there. I was always kind of interested in that. So it sparked. I couldn't even remember when it sparked.
And was you sparked by a particular artist?
I would just say the industry as a whole, is very electrifying.
Okay. And when it comes to music that you listening to, I'm curious what type of music you listen
I listen to a lot of hip hop, a lot of rap.
to. Mm,
I listen to a lot of stuff. Um, I used to be big on the country. Country's one of
mm,
those things. You gotta get into it during the summertime. Sometimes having a couple beers, you got to be in the right mood for it. But I really listen to everything.
okay. Shout out okay, I'm bringing this back to your music. I'm curious, how will you describe your style, Sam?
That's one of those tough questions. Like, I wouldn't want to describe myself as any other type of artist or any other type of genre, but I would say I'm a rapper. I'm
Mm,
rapping on the beats. So
okay. And how will you describe your style?
mm, I I don't even know. You know, I wouldn't like to describe my style. I would like to listen to someone else describe my style.
Hmm. Listening to your music, I remember where it remind me of. You sound like a like those cowboy shows.
Yep.
And they had that typical like speak with the accents and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The
Or have you ever
drawl. The
played?
drawl.
Yeah, you ever play Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
You know the one with the gun? I forgot his name. Something Black.
Ah.
Aaron Black.
No, I don't. I no. Who's the one with the yeah? Aaron Black. I don't know. I didn't play that game too much. I wasn't
If
too
you
big on video
ever
games.
if you ever like look it up on YouTube, you ever hear him speak, you
Yeah.
like your voice, the way how you rap on or your flow or your style, just
I'll have to
kind of
check that
remind
out.
me of like a cowboy in the Wild Wild West. That's
I
what it
like
kind of
that.
remind me. Um, but that's how I would describe it from me listening to your music.
Okay.
But
I like that.
uh, but that's what's up. So you don't necessarily have a particular description of your sound at the moment,
I'd
correct?
say it's still early, and
Still
it's one of
early.
those things that I know it takes a little time to develop. You know,
Mm,
I've put out 3 songs now, and I feel like they're all kind of different a little bit. So just still
okay.
kind of trying to find that sound. You know, I don't want to put myself in one. I don't want to say a certain style and box myself in. You know.
So let me ask you this: the phase that you in right now, how will you describe the phase?
Um, I'm just trying to like put stuff together that's like really catchy and like
Mm,
that'll engage people. And I also think about like I want that like 30 seconds of like just like fire, you know, that I can use for like the clips and the Instagram story posts and stuff like that.
like, will you necessarily say that you make like rage music?
I think the first song I put out, Back Up, I think that is definitely a rage style. And then this most recent track I put out, Chopsticks, I think that beat is uh, definitely like a rage fusion type beat.
Okay. So will we see you explore more within that style of rage, or will we see you tapping into like
Yeah,
other
definitely going to be
styles?
tapping into other styles
No.
in the near future. But I do like the rage styles. I definitely love the rage style stuff.
So what do or if you don't mind me asking, do you have somewhat of an idea of what you're gonna be tapping into next?
Just more exploring with just any different beats right now. I'm looking for new beats actually right now at the moment. I'm sampling a lot of new beats, and you know I'm working on uh, developing myself as a beat maker.
Mm.
So I'm kind of reaching out to people right now, like asking for kind of their help in that department right now. So I would say I'm not exactly sure. I'm still kind of exploring that.
Do you have a particular style of beat that you prefer, or are you still exploring, figuring it out?
I like the Rage. I think that's my favorite so far. The Rage is my favorite so far.
Rage type of beat?
Yeah, definitely favorite
Okay.
so far.
So you like something that like be hype up for like, going to like a rave or like, live performance. Like you
Yeah,
like that type of stuff.
I like Ken Carson. You know Ken Carson.
Yeah, yeah.
I love Ken Carson. He definitely does some Rage stuff. So
Okay. I respect it. Okay. Um, so what inspired, which one is your first release?
the first release is Back Up.
Back up. So what inspired you or what inspired that song actually? I'm curious.
Inspired that song. One day. So the funny thing about that song, I didn't even have a mic when I recorded that song. I had a pair of Apple headphones that I rapped that on, and that's what you hear.
Mm.
So that whole song is wrapped on Apple headphones, like in my car.
Oh wow. What you freestyle it or you?
It
You
was like
practicing?
a punch in for some
Okay.
parts, but it definitely wasn't freestyle. I had been working on that for a while.
Okay. And what do you find is your biggest strength
I think
as
my
being an artist?
I think it's the pen.
Who you think is Ben?
I think it's the writing. The
Okay.
I think that that's the part that comes the easiest to me. Um, Actually getting the lyrics, that's the part that comes easiest to me, as opposed
Okay.
to finding cadences and stuff like that and delivering them.
I respect that. Okay. And what do you find, one as your weakness, something that you need to work on as an artist,
Weakness, I would say,
or a flaw?
yeah. Hmm. I wish that I could sing. I wish I could sing, and I'm
You
gonna
wish you
try.
could say.
I'm working on that. I'm gonna work on that.
Okay. And do you have somewhat of an idea how you will influence? I mean, inf infuse? Yeah, infuse the two
Um,
together.
yeah, I have an idea.
Okay. Uh, be curious to see that. All
Yeah,
right. Okay. When it comes to like looking forward to what you got going on, next. What is your plan?
like the next big thing. Um, you know what? No, I'm focused on my next releases. I'm gonna try to keep. I'm like I said, I have a few people tuned in, a good amount of people tuned in my mind. So I would like to continue. I would like to pump out some more releases in the next couple weeks. So that's kind of what I'm focused on now. Is just getting new stuff.
Okay. And what is your skill set? I know we know you as a musician, but is there anything else that you like to promote?
Nope, just the music.
Like
I
you just a songwriter, artist? I know you just said that you was interested to produce. Like what's other?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely want to get more into making beats, but that would be just something for my own music, just
No, no,
making beats for myself. Yeah, but
no,
that is something I would like to do.
no. Like, do you play any instruments or
Yeah, the piano.
piano?
I
Okay,
don't have one here, but
okay. All right, and will we see more of that? You tap it into like playing the
I
piano
love the
or
piano beats. I love starting with the piano. I love starting with synthesizers. You're gonna see a lot of that. You're gonna see the piano beats coming through.
mm,
I think that's like for rap, I think that's one of the most underutilized tools is the synthesizers
okay,
on the piano.
okay. So you feel that your writing is your biggest strength. Um, and when you was tapping in with like music, for the first time, like was you already giving it, you know, a shot from like the writing standpoint, or was you already practicing
When I
beforehand?
when I first released,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
like
I was definitely practicing. Yes, definitely practicing. Um, just spitting
how
shit. Just yeah, practicing.
how long you say you was writing for?
I mean, I've been writing lyrics in my phone on the notes since I was like 15,
Since you was 15. And how old are you now? You don't mind me asking?
25.
25. 10 years. Okay, 10 years. So you've been when you was, you know, practicing writing or whatever, was you in the mindset like one day you was gonna take this serious?
I not at all, cause I was so intimidated by the whole industry, just because I thought it was just a big deal to even have like a. I seen people posting like mixtapes and songs on the thing, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I wanted to do it. So
Mm,
I feel like I would do myself a disservice if I didn't do it. It's just something
mm.
I had to do. I had to try it.
So the 15-year-old version of you, if they would have got the chance to hear the three songs that you have released at the moment, which of the three do you think your 15-year-old self would connect to?
I think it would connect to back up.
Why?
Um, Sad, man. Sad.
Mm. Oh, you was like an emo kid?
No, I was not. I wasn't an emo kid at all.
No. So, uh, but can you add a little bit more in there? What do you mean by sad? What about it? Like, would it be something emotional that you
Yeah,
said?
no, I mean, I was definitely going through some stuff when
Mm.
I was 15, and I feel like
Mm.
everybody's going through some stuff at 15, so it's just a tough time. But, I feel like Backup is one of those songs that's it's relatable. Everybody's got something going on in their head, some problems, and you just got to keep getting through it, stay strong.
Okay. And out of the three that you released so far, which one, out of the three, which one is your favorite?
Which is my favorite personally is going to be Tiptoe.
Tiptoe.
Yeah.
And why did that stand out to you so much compared to the others?
It didn't so much stand out compared to the two others, but it's just I had the most fun making that one. Actually, that's what
Mm.
it is. It's like it was just it came the easiest. The recording process and everything down to even just the lyrics, how I placed them together. It just all came very naturally. So
No. Good. 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 Do you have any plans for a music video?
I don't. I need to get tapped in with someone that can shoot my music video around here.
Okay. And where you located, if you don't mind me asking?
Boston.
Boston. Okay. So you're in the Boston area. Okay. So you're definitely looking for more producers and you're looking for people that shoot like music videos.
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to like any other services that you would need, are there any particular other collaborations that you're looking for?
Yep. Joyner Lucas hit me up. Millie's hit me up. Shout out.
Shout out to, and you said Jonah Lucas.
Yeah,
I don't know too many people that listen to him. Okay.
Joe. Oh my gosh, Joyner's huge, and he's not exactly a Boston artist. He doesn't exactly
Mm.
claim Boston, but Massachusetts.
What's your favorite song about?
Oh, Joyner. I like a lot of his old stuff, and I would say Mansion. I don't know if you've heard Mansion.
Yeah.
It's off of one of his older albums, I think. But yeah, that had
Mm.
to be my favorite. But I mean, his newer stuff is great too.
I respect that. I was tapping with his earlier work,
Yeah,
heavy as well.
like
I
I
haven't get
loved. Sorry to cut you off there,
no
but
go ahead,
before
go
I
ahead.
forget, I loved the. I know you remember the remixes he did to
Oh
those
yeah,
the popular songs. Like he did one
yeah.
for Gucci Gang, and he did it for the Baby and
Tory Lanez.
Tory. Yeah, yeah, those were
Yeah, I
just
remember that. That
insane.
was actually a good run.
It was
Yeah, I was
mind
enjoying it.
blowing. It was mind
Mm.
blowing what he was doing on those beats.
Okay. For somebody that is a lyricist as well, I'm curious about two things. Are you, when it comes to like writing, being a lyricist writer, are you interested to writing for like other artists, or would this be strictly, you know, for yourself?
You know what? I would not be interested in that.
Okay. And second thing, I was curious about, what is your all-time favorite uh bar uh, that you heard from artists?
All time favorite bar. That is a tough question, my friend. Uh, could have bought her heart back, but I spent it on Dior. IC Chris.
Not okay. It was if you would have like a top five, artists that you would listen to, currently or all time, who is your top five artists that you go to?
Oof, it's another big question. Right now, right now I'm listening to a lot of Ken Carson. Kind of been on him for the last been listening to him like a lot for the last 2 years. Um, I love Poe Shiesty. He's a great lyricist, and he's got that kind of how you were saying the southern drawl kind of to
Mm.
his flow too. Um, Lil Durk, he's great. I'm kind of blanking right now, honestly, but Like I said before, I'm listening to everything, so
Mm,
those are just a few.
I respect that. Okay. Um, what's your marketing promotion strategy?
Marketing strategy. Um, right now, I've just been on Instagram, just posting consistent stories with the links to my songs on YouTube, and that's pretty much it right now.
Okay. And is there any cultural background influence your music?
Um, I would say, I mean, growing up in Massachusetts, I loved Joyner Lucas, and that would be the biggest thing, you know. Like, say he's like the one Massachusetts artist that I grew up like listening to, and actually like I felt like he was like, it was amazing, like seeing his run from the bottom to the top, like, you know.
Hmm. No, I agree. Even some of the strategy that he used for marketing, like the cell phone number, I thought that was just like part of the promotion. I didn't know that was
Genius,
actually a, part of
genius.
his marketing strategy. So, shit like that, pretty smart. And his, I think that's his manager that be with him on tour. You
His
know what I'm talking about?
manager? No, I
Yeah,
don't know who
yeah.
you're talking about.
The skinny light skinned guy that be next to him, that be talking about, that would be with him when he also be talk about like how they go about the tour buses and stuff like that.
Okay,
He
yeah,
usually be
no, I
with him,
mean, yeah.
but yeah, I think that's his manager. But
Yeah,
he would be dropping some gems too of like what he was doing with marketing and everything.
yeah,
So,
no, I
like,
mean,
stuff like that is pretty dope to, to see and experience. And it
yup,
just open up your mind. It's just like, oh shit. That, like you said, it was smart. Um,
very.
I'm curious, what gems of marketing have you learned that been helpful of recent, when it comes to marketing music.
Make yourself relatable. Put content out that people are gonna want to watch. Make songs that people are, you know, gonna want to say, learn the lyrics to. Catchy songs, just all that type of stuff.
No,
Just there's, you know, like when it comes to marketing yourself as a brand, as an artist, anything, the most important thing is to just keep to do something, to put something out there, just some form of anything, you know. Whether it's even if you only have one song, promote the hell, just keep promoting that song, you know.
no, I agree. I would say to the whole world listening to it, don't give up. It's still gonna be new to somebody. Um, so I definitely recommend that. And also, don't forget, being entertainers is very important to run a country. If a country boring as shit, a lot of people will leave. That's the main reason why people wanted to come over to the United States because our
Yep.
entertainment is pretty lit. Um, but I definitely encourage y'all keep trying and keep figuring out your sound. I would say listen to your music so far. My only critique is flow and delivery, but I feel like with experience, you will better find yourself in more comfortable position that you're in. But outside of that, I think everything else you got potential. I do
Yeah,
think
I appreciate that.
you got a unique voice, and that's your natural voice, right? You're not using auto tune, right?
No.
So that's your natural voice.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, just getting up on the mic with
yeah.
the pop filter. There's a
Okay.
pop filter and a little sound screen. I actually
Okay.
just got I have this little setup right here actually. It's right on Amazon for 30
Okay.
bucks. Comes with a pop
Okay.
filter, mic stand.
Yeah. So I
Get
would say
yourself
your
a nice
voice is
little.
pretty solid.
I
So
appreciate that, man.
I would just say that my only critique is to keep, experimenting and exploring, farther developing your style and your flow. But
Yep.
outside of that, the sky is the limit. So, uh, from a listener standpoint, I'd be curious to see, where you take this and how you elevate your sound going forward. Um, but the biggest strength that I heard, so far is that, your voice pretty stands out, pretty unique as well. I think you give you your own personality.
I
Um,
appreciate that, man.
I think your style is different in a sense. It's like it's almost like you're talking, but like I said, with that cowboy like accent,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
come off as like you're being a dick, but it
yeah,
works.
yeah, yeah.
So it's just like, are you, or in the better sense, it's kind of come off like a bully, but in a better sense, but the personality like works for the tone of the music that it's on. So I'd be curious to see how you develop and explore that.
Yep, yep. Like you said, sky's the limit. Just
Mm,
keep trying to find that pocket, you know, because everybody's got it in them, you know. They got to just find that sound.
no, I agree. Um, so when it comes to like your upcoming uh work, you say you was working on an EP or
I'm just working on new stuff, just anything, just to drop
okay.
singles.
Oh, so singles is your main focus at
Yeah, like these three songs I just dropped. I
the
don't know how I'd classify them even. It's just a project, you know. Just
Okay,
so
okay,
like
okay.
so like this next project, maybe I'll have like another 3 song project, and then
Mm-hmm.
you
No,
know
that's not bad. Like for example, I'm not sure you listen to Russ, Russ.
RUSS. Yep.
Yeah. The way how he first started was he was pretty active dropping singles weekly. But now it's like once a month. I mean, he did enough now where he can like slow down on this shit.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
the reason why I was bringing up the some be on a consistent path where their audience can expect, you know, new content. Uh, or some would drop, singles to build hype and then release those under, an EP album. Probably, hit them with a deluxe, some few new songs or some shit.
Right, right.
Um, but there's a lot of room to like, look out from like your peers to see how they go about it that you can, intimate that into your strategy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely take notes from everybody. Everybody's
Hmm.
going through the same thing out here on the social media. It's tough to
I
promote
agree.
yourself.
And and don't forget, like, as consumers, we need something to eat at the end of the day.
Yep.
So, there always going to be a room. It just, like you say, just got to keep promoting yourself and putting yourself out there.
Yep.
Eventually, you find the right people.
Don't let them forget about you.
No, I agree. Well, especially now more than ever. They seem
Yep.
like they may forget. Now, I am curious if it's just a mainstream thing. Because it seems like people that's coming up on the ground, their fan base are going to remember them, even if they don't be active. But it seems like it's the mainstream
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how that is.
problem. So bringing this back to you, uh, when it comes to writing, I'm curious, like out of your 3 songs that you released so far, which one was the most challenging for
Most challenging to write, probably Chopsticks.
you? Yeah. Okay. And why is it? Was you because you exploring something, trying something new?
I was stressing. I was stressing
Mm,
over it.
why is that?
Just trying to get it, just trying to get it right. You know, because
Mm,
I wanted to beat the last one, like, and that was it was very hard for me because that tiptoe I loved it so much. So I just kind of
mm,
at the end I just said, you know what, I just got to get it done. You know,
okay.
get it
And
off the
and
plate.
and I'm curious, like for each song, in your own opinion, what do you find different about each one? Well, each of the 3 songs. What do you find different personally?
Um, I think each one just has a different feel, a different vibe. I listen to all three of them at different volumes,
Mm,
so it's like kind of I don't know, like it's just the two I would say are similar. Backup and Tiptoe, similar just because of the beats. Um, and the other one, Tiptoe, kind of has a more chill beat.
okay. Coming to the halfway mark. Some talents that I have for you. Shout out to One Nation. Not only is he an artist, but he's also a comic book slash manga author as well. If you would like to connect with somebody within that field, I can make it happen.
Yep. Okay.
Shout out to Jeremy. He's starting a Tap Room Live series where people get to perform live at small establishments such as restaurants, etc., where you get to perform in a small crowd. If you like, stay up tuned or be interested in that, I can send over his information too.
Yep, yep.
The next person I would like to shout out to Jeremy. Not only he's a folk artist, but he's also running his own podcast where artists sit down with another artist, similar to this, but he's the
Okay,
artist. He's as well. It's called Sound Sandwich Podcast. If you'd be interested to tune into that, I can send you his information.
definitely.
And the last thing that I got to offer you, we recently started our own music label. Shout out to For You and Life Records, where we create soundtracks where artists can appear on with fellow peers to take up a challenge. Our first soundtrack is mixed in horror with Valentine's, so it's thriller with romance. So if you're looking to test your pen or you know work with fellow artists, we offer that opportunity for exposure and everything. So if you're interested in that, or just a producer that produced a beat for us, I can
Yep,
send you that
yep,
information after the show.
yep.
All
Awesome.
right, Bill. And bringing this, to you when it comes to people that you are looking to network with. You mentioned producers, and what was the other one that you mentioned that you want to get connected with? I know
I
one
th-
was producers,
yeah, producers and what was it? The visual
visual,
guys.
music
Yeah.
videos. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is there any other talents that you're looking to network with?
You know what? I think that's about it. Really, I
That's
think
one
that's about it. Yeah.
producers
What
and
else is there? You know, stylist. That's not. You don't need
style.
no. You don't need no stylist. You know.
I mean, it depends on what your budget is.
Yeah. That's yeah. Yeah.
But also when it comes to the music video, that depends as well, because the stylist will help you direct your style to fit the music video. So it depends on how much you want to take up personally. But
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
someone to do specialize in that field, then call it out. They can hear it directly from you.
Yep. Yep.
Um, okay. Uh, are you looking to collaborate with other artists, singers?
At this point, not right now.
Not right now. Not right now. Okay.
Not at this point, but definitely in the future.
Okay. And you did say you're looking into singing. Are you like looking for teachers, or are you just gonna be like a
Yeah. I
self-taught
mean.
thing?
Yeah. I mean. Yeah. Definitely. Probably
Okay.
gonna be looking for a teacher at some point to learn how to take some singing lessons because I haven't the first clue, and I don't think that's something you go to YouTube for. You know.
I mean,
Might
yeah.
be able to get by on it. I don't know. I'll try that first. I'll hit YouTube up first, and if that doesn't work, then I'll have to get some lessons.
So from what little research that I've done, there's like some routine to at least start up, building up your vocals and everything. That I find helpful. So I would say yes, there's lessons like shit. If you can learn how to build a business on YouTube and everything, I'm pretty sure that they able. There's somebody out there that's teaching lessons out there for staying for free for
Yeah,
reasonable
yeah,
budget.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, but if you're looking for like a one-on-one teacher that will personally, work with you and work on your biggest strengths and weaknesses and everything, I think that's where the teacher will come in play. But if you want to knock out the basic on your own, I would recommend it. Okay. All right. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So coming back and focusing on your craft, uh, you say you was interested to tackle into production. Uh, we know you as an artist, a writer. Uh, is there Is there or let me ask this. Uh will VBC you tapping into other forms of entertainment? Do you have any interest to tap into other forms of entertainment?
Yeah, I mean, I'm game for whatever comes my way through any avenue. You know,
Like acting,
definitely. Yep.
painting.
Painting, you said? Painting?
Yeah. Yeah,
Nah,
like
probably not
well
painting.
like where are you personally
Like
interested?
I'd say, like yeah, like you said, acting. You
Okay.
know, that type of stuff. Like other type of stuff that goes in hand with the production, type stuff.
Okay. Okay. It can coexist. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. All right, all right. And let me see what inspired uh what's that song? Tiptoe. So I know you said, that was like a easiest, it was really easy for you to write to. But I'm curious,
Yep.
like, how that song all came together.
Yeah, so I mean, that song kind of just came together with one of my life experiences. Uh, and it just, yeah, like I said, the lyrics just kind of came to me when the beat started playing, and I just heard it in my head a couple times. And then I just
Mm,
laid down that first, uh, it's not even a hook, it's just the first part of the first verse. I laid that part down first. That's the first thing you hear on the song. Then I already had that hook written from, it was just in my notes. So I took that and then I just wrote another verse for it.
mm. Shout out to that. And have you got a chance to perform live yet?
No,
No. So when it comes into, are you preparing yourself to, to perform live, or that's not something that you worry about right now?
it's not. That's not necessarily something I'm too worried about right now.
Mm.
So I'm not really preparing myself, but I'm always prepared.
Okay. So if somebody would offer you opportunity, you know,
Yep. Yeah.
you'd be
No, for
ready.
sure. For sure.
Okay.
Like
Do you have a particular song out of the three that you want to perform?
tiptoe. Yeah.
Tiptoe.
Yep.
I respect that. Okay. And there is
All
a
three though. All three. All three.
all three.
Yeah.
Okay. And on Tiptoe, there's a feature on there, right?
Feature? No. No feature.
Oh no, does it one of the songs got a feature on it?
No. None of my songs have features.
Oh really? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, so that was just you changing up your song. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sound
Yeah.
like two
No.
different people. Um. Okay. 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 Uh. So you would perform your own song. What do you hope listeners to take away from your music?
Motivation.
As a motivation.
Yeah. Motivation, and I just hope they enjoy it. I just hope they enjoy it. You
Mm.
know, because I do enjoy making it. So I hope there's people that enjoy listening to it. You know, that's all I can hope for.
And when it comes to like collaborating with other artists, I'm guessing it would have been what's his name, Kaizen?
Sorry, say it again. Who was it?
Who was the artist that you mentioned earlier? I know it was Jordan Lucas and
Yeah, Millie's. He's also from
Millie.
Massachusetts here.
So if it
He's
says
from
that they,
Boston
that
actually.
if you could have collaborated with any artist, it would be those two.
Yeah, huge, huge, both of them. Yep.
I respect that. I respect that. When it comes when it comes to you recording and everything, you do that inside in your space, or do you go to the studio?
I do it right in the crib.
You do it right in the crib. Okay. Uh, do you do any like behind the scenes?
No,
Do you have any plan on doing any behind the scenes?
you know that's a great idea. I had not had any even idea of that, and now that you mention it, I see people doing the behind the scenes, and I think that's really cool, and
Hmm.
that's a great idea.
So we would be seeing some, going in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that definitely.
No. So what is your plans of showcasing your artistry is through social media or
Right now, it's just the YouTube I got going and my Instagram, IC
Instagram?
Chris underscore the letters IC Chris.
Hmm. And what inspired your name?
It's just like IC Chris, you know.
Mm. Yeah, what inspired the name? And do you have like any other names that you was thinking on?
I was gonna go just Chris with a money sign, but I think I get trademark copied on that, so I have to add something for it.
And you thought of IC?
I just say yeah, IC Chris. It's just kind of catchy. I don't know.
Oh God. IC.
That's the first thing I really thought of. Yeah.
Okay. And there's no hidden meaning what IC?
No.
Okay. Okay. Alright, I respect that, respect that. respect that. Do you have any particular um how can I word this? Do you have like a particular way you would get into like writing? Like, is there a particular ritual or routine to it?
So the it's really the most terrible thing because every time I go to write, nothing comes to me, and every time that it's the worst time to write, everything is coming to me. So it's like I'm constantly remembering stuff in my head, and then remembering it and writing it down. So it's like that's how it mostly happens. Stuff will come to me when I'm at work or just driving or doing regular stuff. That's when it comes to me.
Okay. And what was a example of a time of a worst time that it came to you? Like in the middle of you taking a
Like
shit?
just like no, the worst time like okay, worst time it came to me. The worst times is probably just at work because you wanna write it down. Or I guess driving too, but I guess at work
Mm,
is tough because you wanna be there, get the job done and everything, and then you can't go on your phone and get yelled at by your supervisor or the customer or something. They come down and see
mm.
you on your phone in the basement, in the boiler, working on the boiler, and you know that's why it's
I
nice to
respect.
be a famous musician. You get to write your lyrics all day.
Mm. I respect. You ever like try to like the record like vocal record yourself at that
Yeah,
moment?
that helps a lot, and that's something I just recently started doing actually, and that helps a lot on the voice memos. I wasn't utilizing that as a tool properly. I didn't
Mm.
realize that that was such a helpful thing, but yeah, that's huge.
Okay. Okay. Um, let me see. Here's a fun question I have for you. If you could create a soundtrack for a movie or a commercial or a TV show, which one would you prefer?
A movie, commercial, or TV show? I'd say a
Mm.
movie. I'd say a movie.
Movie?
Soundtrack for a
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Do you which song would you go for out of the three? And do you have a particular
Oh,
movie?
I would. I'd have to rewrite the whole thing. I'd have to. I'd have
What
to come up with some new. I'd have to come
oh,
up
there's
with
some
some
new
new.
shit?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I respect it. I respect it.
Cause I.
Uh
Cause that's something serious. That's huge. That'd be career changing right there. If you land something like that, movie soundtrack, even a TV
mhm.
show or a commercial, that's it's huge.
I respect that. Do you have a idea of a particular movie that you would like to go for a soundtrack? Or genre
Um.
wise? Like would it be action, thriller,
Yeah, I think so. Action.
action?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mission
okay.
Impossible.
Mission
Tom
Impossible?
Cruise hit me up. That's another one.
Okay. All right. I can see that. Okay. And what scene do you see it? Would it be like a chase scene, a car scene,
Mm,
fighting?
the airplane. He's the how he's always falling off the airplane. He's
Mm,
always falling through the sky.
like a life or death
I could
situation?
get. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Uh, all right, interesting. And do you have any particular hobbies that you indulge in?
Just hanging out with friends, hanging out with family. I love to cook.
You a
I
cooker?
make steak. I make steak almost every night.
Okay. Which that wouldn't be your favorite dish to make, or is
Uh,
it that's safe to say that's your favorite
it is like it's probably my favorite dish right now. Yeah, steak,
steak?
steak and mashed potatoes, some asparagus.
Okay, and that makes sense. And I'm guessing that work for the muscle.
Yep, yep.
Respect, respect. Okay, steak, potatoes, and uh, okay. Let me see. If you could describe, I know you couldn't describe your music as a description, but if you could describe it as a color, what color would it be?
A color,
Hmm.
blue,
Blue.
blue. Yep, like North Carolina uniform colors. Like that white and blue.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Shout out to you. And I think that's all the question I have. But outside of that, uh, just checking out your music and just seeing like, the character that you are. I think people would definitely love to see, what it takes to be in your shoes as an artist. So like getting to see you writing, getting to see you, putting the work, you know, in your studio, uh, working on new music, working on release, or even using it as the way to tease and market it
Yeah,
and everything. I think that could work wonders for you. Even for example, like if you decide, I would recommend using this app if you like trying to like record and build up some like behind the scenes stuff. You can connect multiple phones to this app to catch like multiple angles. So I would recommend using this app if you're looking to indulge into that. Um, but outside of that, I would say, outside of your flow, your delivery, and like, behind the scenes, I say that's the only three that I would say I noticed just looking at it for the first time that could probably, do you wonders. But
yep.
outside of everything else, I think you got the grind, I think you got the character, and I think you have the passion for it. And I definitely see potential in your work. So, oh, I also recommend promote yourself overseas. Uh, I'd be curious what audience you're able to grasp. So, for example, uh, we start promoting our music overseas, and for example, Brazil is like our one of our biggest, fan base as of the moment, which I'm shocked that, that the beats that we have, attracted, people with over Brazil.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'd be curious, to see what the world, you know, outside, United States, will how they react to your music. So that would be another thing that I would recommend. Try your music overseas, test your sounds overseas, and see what people connecting with, and then even tap into, the locals over there. If you show, local artists love, the locals will fall in love with you because, that would be their first introduction because they supporting that local. So,
Yep.
uh, keep up with your marketing strategy. I mean, I think it's working. That's how I was able to find you. Um, so outside of that, I think you got it. So keep up the good work.
I appreciate that, man. It was great, and it was great to talk to you.
No problem. Before you leave, shout out all your platforms. Shout out anybody that you want to put on, and then drop a song out of your catalog you want the audience to listen to.
Yeah, no, I'm IC Chris. The letters IC Chris underscore on Instagram, and it's just IC Chris on YouTube with the money sign. Don't forget the money sign on YouTube. And then,
Shout out to you.
yep,
Anybody you
shout
want to
out
put
to you
on.
too. Um, I, you put me on the spot a little bit. Shout out my cousin Jackson.
Okay, shout out to your cousin. And what song out of your catalog you want the audience to listen to?
Go and listen to my Tiptoe because it's got less views than everything else.
Okay. All right. Tiptoe it is. I'm looking forward to your success, bro.